Well, hello, my peeps. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are not new, if you are new, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you guys are all having a fantastical, magical, like unicorn-like day. Remember, if not, that's always, oh my god, hair. Okay, too, but if not, I'm always over here, hoping that your day turns around for you. Anyway, welcome to another episode, I suppose. I mean, that's literally what I titled the ones, like episode 1 and 2. So welcome to episode 3 of Triple T Time Storytime Rant Time, Tuesdays and maybe Thursdays. Okay, not gonna lie, there should be more videos out. Okay, I had a plan because I did a video. Okay, so I did one on Tuesday, and then I was going to do one on Thursday. Or wait, I filmed on Wednesday, or recorded video on Wednesday, and I was going to post it and crap and edit it or whatever on Thursday, but it didn't happen. It got too late, and I was like, I'm not gonna post a video, like, cause it was like at like 12 something Friday, and I was like, no, that's kind of weird. Like, no, it's on Tuesdays and maybe Thursday. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna save this, right? And I was like, you know what? Maybe on Tuesday I'll do it where I just do a Tuesday rant and post the Thursday rant or story time or whatever on Tuesday. But then I literally got so busy doing a bunch of homework and studying for exams and crap that I completely forgot about the Tuesday video. And I was like, you know what? It's worked out great, because I mean, I kind of referenced the first video and the Thursday video, and it kind of wouldn't have made very much sense if I posted some other video and then the Thursday video. So I was like, okay, you know what? Forget it. So then, when it came to Thursday last week, I remembered to post the video I had did the previous week that was going to be on there, and so then it was this whole thing. So hopefully this week I can actually do it on Thursday. I mean today, obviously, and then on maybe Thursday I can do actually post a rant video. I'm trying to get into the habit and trying to find time to make sure I do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but we'll see. I'll definitely probably most likely be able to do it, how I say, like, it will be more frequent is the word, or I don't know, consistent during the summer, because I don't have all 50 million things going on. I mean, I'll have things going on, but not as much craziness or whatever, so I'll be more consistent, but try to work with me here. So, anyway, first things, I have my tea. Of course, hello. Mug brought to you by my godmother. So, because she went to Nashville, I don't know how long I've had this cup. I've had it for like quite a bit, but whenever she like travels at all, whether it's to another state or country, she always will like ask my sister and I, like, you know, hey, you know, I'm thinking about the souvenirs or whatever, or sometimes she won't even like ask us or whatever. Like, she'll just go to this place and get souvenirs for my sister and I, and then like she'll be like, you know, she'll just send it, and then we'll be like, oh my goodness, you know. So my thing is, I want magnets and mugs. For me, magnet is like a must. And then if, you know, because like sometimes, like, depending on where she is, especially if like the souvenirs there are extremely expensive, she'll get more stuff or less stuff depending on her. Honestly, my sister and I are just grateful to get anything, but sometimes she really splurges on the souvenirs, which, like, obviously we're like extremely grateful and thankful for that. But for me, whenever she asks us or whatever, like, I say magnet is first and foremost, mug would be next on the line, and then keychains is also next in line, and then like I'm open to, like, you know, sweatshirts or like long sleeve shirts, you know. My sister is like Lord have mercy. Hold the phone. Lord have mercy. What is it that you lost this time? What is going on, lady? What did you lose? Ugh. I really don't know what you lost. You're not going to be completely honest. Girl, you got this thing stuck in the actual. You know what? I'm so done with you. Okay. Virgo's child. Anyway, my sister is sweatshirts first and foremost. She likes like sweatpants or bottoms. Obviously she'll take like just like shirts or whatever too, but hers is more like clothing related. Mine is like objects or like kind of like everything else. Because a shirt can be an object, but like stuff like that. But yeah, she got me this mug. She also got me a magnet. Oh, yes. Like, I think my godmother is the reason why like I'm like obsessed with magnets now. So like this is, I know it's probably backwards, the magnet that he had got for me with the mug. She might have got me another one, but I'm not quite sure. Cause she's been to Texas a few times, and like I have quite a few from Texas, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, so when I was growing up, right? Because before she like moved to like all these other places, her primary residence was here in Iowa, you know. And so as we were growing up, again, she's my godmom. So like we were like, if we weren't with our parents, most likely we was with our Aunt Helga / godmom, and like we would go be at her house literally like almost every single weekend. And sometimes like if it's like it was a longer weekend or whatever, she would, or even if it wasn't a longer weekend, she would like pick us up on Thursday and like take us to school on Friday, and then like, you know, we would stay the rest of the weekend with her, or so we could have more time with her instead of my sister and I getting off of school on Friday and then like doing a bunch of crap and then her picking us up. She would pick us up on Friday after school and then the rest of the weekend. So either way, we was over her house a lot. And so she had all of these magnets on her refrigerator. I was always so jealous. Like I was like so like enthralled with like the designs and like the colors and shapes or whatever, and like so in love with all the places she had been. And like I was just like so like invested in that. And then my mom wasn't necessarily like a big, sorry, something in my eye, magnet person or whatever, like a souvenir person, but she has traveled so many places also. So I had like, and even like, you know, like other family members, like my aunts and stuff or whatever, what do you call it, had traveled to so many places, especially one of my aunts, she was extremely involved with the church or whatever, so they would like do these retreats and like these all these different things, right? So she was always traveling also. So like I had all this influence of travel, so that's where like my love of travel and wanting to travel all the time was from my mom. But like me, I grew up and I always wanted to be somewhere else but home. You know what I'm saying? Like amazing parents, amazing feeling, but I just always wanted to go, like travel and see different things. Like I'm just like so enthralled with like all the different things and all the world has to offer. So I started like with my mom and like me, just myself, like my own personality. And then I had all these other influences that kind of like fed into that drive of wanting to travel everywhere. So basically, long story short, that I am obsessed with magnets. My sister said that she wanted to start a magnet collection, but it's always those younger siblings. They always want to do everything that the older sibling is doing. And so eventually she was just like, girl, like I like really don't have any. Hold up. This Virgo is harassing me. So then eventually she gave me her magnets, and then, oh my goodness, that reminds me, okay, my parents got it, like, because my dad had remodeled the entire kitchen, and he added, in, like, design or whatever, like, what do you call it? A whiteboard over, and, you know, it came with magnets, or he got magnets, and when it was separate, I'm not entirely sure, but I really like this one magnet, and so I took it. I mean, clearly they didn't know it's because they haven't told me anything about it, you know, so clearly I think I'm safe, but they all know I have an obsession with magnets anyway, so it's fine. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, new topic. Okay, so, okay, heads up, first of all, hello to nicer. Get up there, stop it! Right, move so you can get that stuff back in there. Okay, and yes, she's a female dog, but I call her son sometimes. It is what it is, okay? Bear with me. Okay, yes, it's a nice day. Finally, we are getting some wonderful, nice weather in Iowa. It is about time. This week I get to take all of my winter clothes, flash ball clothes or whatever, and take them back home and get my wonderful summer clothes here. But also, on top of that, I'm also starting to, like, you know, slowly but surely, like, pack things up and get them back home, because it's already April 11th. It's getting closer to the end of the semester / the end of the school year. So obviously whatever is here literally has to go back. And so that's going to be a process. If you guys probably know some of my other videos or have heard me talk about it, I hate packing. I find nothing interesting or exciting about packing. Like, even packing for trips, like I know these things, like toothbrush, obviously, like floss, you know, PJs, bandana, you know, like I knew all that stuff. But then you want, like, clothes, but you don't know what kind of clothes you want to wear, because then you know for a fact that the outfit you picked in your head might not go well, so then you have to, like, try to find, like, another variation. You have to pack enough stuff to where, like, if this look doesn't look good, but then hopefully if you pair it with this shirt, then it will look a lot better. Like, just too much. It's tedious, and I'm just not here for it. And then you want to make sure you're not packing too heavy or, like, too light. It's just... But college, like, packing up your dorm room or whatever, like, studio apartment, like, whatever your campus living situation is, it's just not cute, because then, like, now you're missing things that was there this entire school year, you know, and then you don't know, like, which things you should take, because it's like you use so many things, like, almost on a daily basis, that you're like, well, technically I can't really get rid of anything, but you know you have to get rid of some stuff, because no one's gonna be spending 500 years packing up this whole space in one day, and it's probably not going to be packed up all in one trip in a car, you know what I'm saying? So we got to do some damage, you know, with time and things like that. So I am packing all of, like, my winter fall clothes, probably some of my school folders and, like, notebooks that I don't really use, maybe some of, like, my desk decorations will probably be Kalia. Lord have mercy. Packed up also. Just stuff like that. Again, like, the end of the semester is approaching pretty fast, but there's also quite a few weeks left. So it's like, you know, you gotta pack, but can't pack too much, you know what I'm saying? When I reach for something, it better be there, you know? But, there's that. But also, okay, so I was walking. Well, like, I looked outside, you know, and I seen people, you know, walking around. I'm like, you know what, it's like, you know, when it's nicer outside, like, a lot of people are, like, out more, you know, walking, you know, and I see a bunch of people, like, around my area or whatever, that is, like, getting out their blankets and, like, laying on the grass, right? Now, I am not a grass layer or interested in that. I hate bugs. I don't like grass, really, to be honest with you. Like, I am a New York person. New York City, Manhattan, Brooklyn. Like, I am New York. I mean, I wasn't born and raised there, but I've been there quite a few times, and, like, New York is my city. You know, I'm that kind of life. I want concrete and buildings, you know, surrounding me. Okay, I'm not about that grass life, and no, I am completely fine without having any grass. I mean, of course, you know, it's good for the animals to do their business, but I mean, I guess especially for this Virgo over there, but me personally, I could do without the grass. But like bugs, and then no. And then whatever is, no. And then especially when you're wearing sandals or whatever, and then it's like creeping on your boot. Woo, no. But yeah, I seen that. I was like, okay, you know, they do their thing or whatever. It's cool to see, you know, the campus is a little bit more lively now. You know, people are actually enjoying outdoors and stuff like that. But then it's like, okay, you're clearly new around this area. And if not, what do you think you're doing? Like, some of these people literally chose spots to lay in where it is very common places for animals to do their business at. Like this one girl that I seen laying in the grass, she was knitting or whatever, you know, just chilling. But I seen her like an hour or so prior to that, and I think she was reading. Cause like literally, it's like she hadn't moved from that spot. Cause I went to class and she was there, and I came back, she was still there, and she literally had picked a spot where literally my own animal does her business at. Like, I'm like, do you know what goes on there? Girl, I would not. I think you might have, like, I'm not saying that they don't do it in other areas or like bring their dogs to other areas, but what I am saying is, like, it's a lot more common than the other areas because, you know, here we're like living in apartments and whatnot, so, and because of like the restrictions and stuff like that on pets or whatever, most of the time that most like a core or where most of the animals are within these areas, and that's where they go to do their business at. So I would not have laid right there, girl. First of all, you need to make sure you wash whatever you are laying on. You need to wash yourself. You need to wash the purse you had on the grass. You need to Lysol, Clorox, all those things, all this stuff. And she had a water bottle laying, you know, on the girl, no. And I seen like a group of people. Well, they weren't all the same group, but like just like different groups of people in this one area, and I'm like, oh no. And I see another area where I was like, oh no. Like, those are like the hot spots of animal waste. Like, I mean, yes, we pick it up. Well, I pick it up, but not everyone does, girl. And even so, sometimes, you know, some stuff is runnier than others, you know. There's some residue. It hasn't rained in quite a bit, so you know that stuff is still, I would not trust it. Again, like I said, I already am like not really into it because of the bugs and stuff, but I'm just saying, even if it had nothing to do with bugs or whatever, I definitely would have chosen a completely different spot, girl. Like, anyway. Oh, my nose. Okay. Probably Ryan, whatever you're doing, no. And so, let's see what else. Like, I feel like I have so much to say, but I always like forget to like write it down. Okay, so today in like one of my classes, we had to meet on Zoom instead of in person because of, you know, some complications or whatever. And before I get to that, my laptop literally hated me today. Like, I was in the middle, because like sometimes like whatever my mom did when she used my laptop, it is, parents, stay away from the children's technology, okay? But anyway, whatever my mom did a few months back, it did some voodoo-ness on my laptop. And so sometimes, every so often, my laptop will act crazy. It will act like I'm touching the screen like 50 million times, but I'm not. So like it will start clicking on a bunch of stuff. And so today, during the Zoom meeting, it was starting to click. I was like, oh my goodness, like I need to turn this, like shut this computer down right now, because I didn't want it to like start like clicking on things like unmute or like show video or like clicking leave room, and then like it was like clicking on some other stuff like, you know, you need to ask. It must have clicked on something that was suggesting that I want to record the Zoom meeting, because it said you need to ask permission from the instructor to record this session or whatever it said. I was like, oh my goodness, no. And so I just quit out and I went on my phone and I was like, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I am missing so much of the instruction. Like hopefully like she's not thinking like something's happening or whatever. Hopefully she doesn't take attendance right now and count me as absent or late. I was like freaking out. But then like I could barely hear, like I had to literally go like this or whatever. But what I needed was on the actual laptop, which was like some assignment or whatever, because you know she was gonna break us into like group sessions, or wait, what do they call it? Rooms? Like breakout rooms. There we go. Breakout rooms. And child, you could definitely tell that I was not going to any school or doing any courses during the pandemic, child. But yeah, breakout rooms. And so I was like, oh my goodness, like I don't want to miss it or whatever. And then like, you know, on the phone, it's like really hard to do it. I was like, I wouldn't even know how to get to the breakout room. Like this is like crazy. And so I was like, hopefully I can get this right. And so eventually my laptop was working. It's, you know, when she took attendance, I was clearly present. Everything worked out, whatever. But in that Zoom meeting, child, we had to share our findings and the readings that we were assigned or whatnot. And she broke us up or whatever, and there was no sound. I mean, like, nobody had unmuted their video. Unmuted their sound over. So I was like, me personally, I was waiting to see if any more people was going to come to the breakout room. Because I think we're actually like a group of 5 or 6 normally. Because like it's the same groups that we normally work in when we are in in-person class. But I'm not responsible for taking attendance or like, you know, them showing up, so I didn't know if they were actually there or whatever. So I was actually waiting for more people to join us. They just wasn't saying anything just because they were just like, one person, I said, to break the silence, I said, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and start. I don't think anybody else is coming. And then there was like, oh, okay, you know, I was so confused, no one else was talking or whatever. I was like, girl, like I could not. I'm like, okay, we are clearly wasting a lot of time here. Like, clearly no one is just, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna start. And then, hold the phone. Okay, so we did that or whatever, and then we went back to the regular Zoom meeting, I guess as we could say. Or we didn't necessarily go back, but it had a timer. Then like after the timer ran out, it automatically put us back into the big group Zoom meeting, I guess you could say. And she said, okay, now, you know, we're gonna mix each other up or whatever. And so like each person, like, I don't know. Okay, there was 5 groups, maybe 6 groups. No, maybe 5, maybe 4. I don't know. Different readings in each group. Excuse me. So maybe there were 6. So each small group was assigned a reading, and so my group 3, did one reading. We all read the same thing and like answered the questions individually. And like, let's say group 5 did a different reading, and they all read that individually, did individual questions, right? So that group that I was describing before was just all a group thing. We were just like comparing notes. But this time, each person from each group was put into a breakout room, so that way we could hear the other readings that the other group was assigned, so that way we can hear their thoughts and their perspectives and what they came up with from their assigned reading. So that way, it's spanned across. So that way, we wasn't required to read 6 different articles or whatever. We was only required to read one and analyze it. But we could take in information from other articles without actually having to do the work for it. So when we was put into that group, this new breakout room, like, it was silent again. But there's for us, there was only 3 people, like I said, but normally it's 5 or 6. In this group, of course, it was like 6 people. No, I think it was probably like 7 people, I believe, maybe. Because let's see, wait, hold up. Yeah, each person from like 6 groups, but because there's only going to be 3 breakout rooms, and so we got 2 people from that group. Another breakout room got 2 people from that group, and another breakout room got 2 people from the group. So like 7 or whatever. Wait. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular members, and we had an extra one, so 7. So it was silent. Everyone was just kind of like, and again, no one had their cameras on, because we don't really want to do that. Like, I don't know what is the reason for this, but us teens or college students, like, I can't say me, us teens, I'm 21 years old, but us in that range, that group, that age range, we don't want to show our face. We do no care. I mean, we could look good, but we still don't want to show our face. I don't know what the reason for that is, but it's like across the board. Like, nobody was like, girl, no. But anyway, let me see what else. Hold the phone. Yeah, and then someone finally said, okay, so is that everyone that's supposed to be here? And it was like, I think so. I mean, we're assuming so, girl, we don't know. But she's like, okay, I think everyone's here, so I'm just going to get started. And so there was this one dude that presented his article or his reading, and after he was done, out of the people that are gone or whatever, he did his spiel, and then he asked us, so does anyone have any questions or whatnot? I was like, it made me laugh because it was kind of like, let me tell you something, sweetness. Probably 90% of the people in this group, so let's just say, well, that wouldn't probably be 90 cents, but let's just say, I'm gonna say this, I was probably the only person that was listening, and even then I kind of spaced out for a little bit because she was doing that she was doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing, and then I kind of like zoned out. But let me tell you, I am a good student, okay? Like, yes, I've had some like pretty like hard classes, and it's like trial and error. It's like, but like overall, I'm a decent student. I'll say I'm a decent student. I'm good, But when I am just interested in something, like, you have to keep my attention, like, otherwise I just zone out. Like, sometimes when like any of my professors are giving a lecture, sometimes it's like boredom because I kind of already know it, or boredom because they have just literally lost me. Like, I'm like, not because I don't understand the content or what they're trying to convey, but it's kind of like, I mean, this is like common sense, you know, like, why, I don't see why this is like a requirement for my major or whatever, so I just kind of be like, bro, like, you gotta really, like, be, like, amazing to keep my attention, okay? For example, I had to take a history, like, you guys I kind of described this in one of the other videos, but I had to take a history class. Well, I did two, I mean, I think it's technically government, but whatever. One history class, I stayed on it, on target, and everything. I was paying it. I have never paid such close attention in my life, and that is because, first and foremost, like, you had to. Will you stop messing with the shoe? Like, first and foremost, you had to pay attention because he would call you to, like, basically repeat what he said, or, you know, he's always said, I will never give you information that I'm not going to test you on, or basically, like, I'm gonna do such and such and such, but you gotta pay attention because you don't want to write down some stuff or mention some stuff that he's already said that is not going to be on the exam. Like, for example, let's use some random topic that has nothing to do with history. Basically, if he said Stitch is blue, okay, but if he said, okay, so this is not going to be on the exam, but Stitch has a red shirt, claws, pointy ears, or whatever. If you ask that question on review day, he's going to say, well, I feel like I have already exclusively mentioned that that's not going to be on the exam, so I don't know why you even asked that question. That is kind of stuff, like, you had to be on point. That's the only reason why I listened, because he was serious business. Don't ask a question about being on a test, because he would be like, if the student said, is such and such going to be on a test or whatever, he would basically say, during the lectures, I have specified what's going to be on the test and not be on the test, but regardless of the situation, you are responsible for knowing that information, so do with it what you will. Trust me, I did not study no information that he did not explicitly say was on the exam. That is a waste of time. I got too much on my mind. I am way too busy and far too busy to be worried about stuff like that. That is the main reason why. It was not because what he was giving a lecture on was in any way interesting or whatnot. It's because he meant serious business, and I was going to be looking stupid when he called on me, or looking stupid when it came to reviewing or whatever. I was like, well, as you tell. I was like, and then, like, the one question I did, because, like, even, like, he may say something, whatever, but I might not necessarily catch it, and so I'll, like, you know, put a reminder or whatever to, like, ask this question when it comes to review time. And so, when it came to reviewing for the exam, you know, he would use class time, whatever, to kind of, like, let us ask any questions that we had. And so, I always made sure not to ask specifically about something. I would be, like, you know, on a more broader kind of question, like, could you clarify this or whatever, or what you meant by this, you know what I'm saying? So that, yes. But if I wasn't sure if he had specifically said it on a test, that it was going to be on a test, I would be like, could you mention what you mean by that, instead of saying, you know, is this topic on, don't say that. And don't make it seem as you're trying to act like that's going to be on the test, because it might not be on the test, and you know, you want to be looking stupid. But if you ask it a certain way, like, I would be like, you know, you kind of mentioned this, could you explain a little bit more about this? And then he would be like, because of the way I asked the question, he would be like, so let me, sure, whatever, like, no problem or whatever, this, but you don't necessarily need to know that for the test, but it's good to know, like, just for the future reference. See, there's a way that you could do it. Don't be like, you know what I'm saying, doing that other stupid way. You gotta work that question incorrectly. But anyway, the other, like, it was a government test or whatever, I would space out all the time. Like, I would be like, he would ask questions. Wait, hold up. What is this? He would might ask a question or want us to, like, respond or whatever, but I'd be like, Chad, thank you. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Like, first of all, half of these people came late, so they don't even know what the heck you're talking about. The other 6 people that should be in this class ain't in this class and haven't shown up since, like, the first day. And so they're not gonna know any of what you're talking about. They be coming in or whatever after the most recent exam to be like, oh, yeah, that grade looks terrible. Probably should come to class. You know, so I'm like, dude. And then one time there was, like, maybe, like, only, like, 4, maybe 5 people that showed up to class, and he was just the nicest, and like professors, whatever, will try their best to be funny to, like, lighten up the class a little bit, but you just kind of, like, the laugh is more of, like, a sympathy laugh or, like, you know, a guilt laugh, you know. But he was genuinely funny. Genuinely funny. And so, like, I was like, oh, like, you see, you're such a nice person. And, like, you're so, like, kind. And, like, you know, like, you would email him. And then, like, I feel like he got back to you or me or whatever in, like, such, like, very, like, speedy manner. But let me tell you something. Professor-wise, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I just can't. I'm only doing this class right now because it is required, and, like, the quizzes and the exams was online, so it's like, and it was open book. So I didn't even, like, bother. I mean, I took the notes, obviously, but I was like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. Like, I literally was like, I used that class as, like, my snack time, okay? I would have my protein shake and my crackers ready for me to eat, or no, like I said, I was been, like, trying to, like, mess with the packaging or whatever, and, like, be disrespectful when I'm opening it or drinking anything, but I would have it ready. That I'd be like so I'm gonna need a lot more than some, like, this is not, like, when he would add his real life examples that was, like, extremely funny, I would be re-interested, you know, back to being interested in it. But then, like, after that, I'd be like, no, oh no, this is not working. Let's see, what's another class? Math? I don't even know what kind of math class it was, but it was some math class, and I was just really bored in it, and I don't know, I was just really bored because the stuff that we were doing was extremely easy, and I guess, like, I don't know if my high school was just different, or, like, I just picked up faster, or just retained the material from high school, or like, I don't know, that whole situation. And so I think maybe that could have been the reason, but I was extremely bored because I literally knew how to do everything. Like, when it would take 10 minutes or whatever to do a few of the practice problems or whatnot, it would take me maybe a minute or two. Like, okay, I'm bragging, or I have bragging rights, but it was just kind of like, it was like extremely easy. Like, I'm like, why am I in this class? Like, for example, I took half a semester of pre-calc in high school. This was like the most basic, like, I'm talking about pre-calc, but now I'm talking about the actual math class I took at Berry. Like, I was like, this is like the most basic algebra or what have you that, like, this is like freshman year of high school, if not 8th grade math that I'm learning right now. Like, this is extremely, like, basic, easy. I said, I hope that I'm like, let me tell you, this is better count for Southern Child. I didn't just retake a freshman year high school course. Like, let me tell you that right now. So for me, like I said, it has to do with, like, just not being interested in the topic. It also has to do with maybe the material just too easy, or I've already learned the material, so I'm just not interested in that either. Maybe like the importance of it, or like how that professor runs their class also has a factor in it. So I don't know. I took a public health class last semester, and yes, I feel like there's a lot of the work was like tedious and whatnot, but quite a few of the units that or topics and chapters that we were talking about, I was extremely interested in. Which is kind of like obvious. Well, I wasn't expecting it, but sort of expecting it. One of the topics that we was talking about was like, like children, or like childbirth, and like talking about like contraceptives and whatnot. So just like kind of like the actual health aspect. So like that was like extremely interesting, and like, babies and stuff like that, which, like I said, kind of makes sense, seeing as how, like, what the heck, that's like literally the field that I want to go into. Like I said, I want to be a ped surgeon, subspecialty in neonatal surgery. So like, obviously I'm clearly on the right path, at least for now, as to what I want to do with my life. So it's just kind of like, I was like, finally something I am interested in. I literally brought like the notes or whatever, and like the handout that we're using for the unit, and I was showing my sister. I was like, look, Kiara, like, check this out. And she was like, girl, why are you showing me a picture of like these things? I said, but yo, look how cool this is. She was like, girl, this is not interesting. Like, please leave me alone. So like, like I said, it has to be one of like 4 things or 5 things, whatever, as to why I am interested in something, or like won't zone out. But if it's not any of those things, I just, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, yeah. Anyway, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? Oh, do you just like find it, like, sometimes be like, for example, it's Tuesday, right? Hence, the triple T time, story time, rant time, Tuesdays and maybe Thursdays, title of this video. But do y'all ever just feel like the week is kicking your butt? Like, and the thing is, it's only Tuesday. Like, I have so many more days to go, and I am just feeling like drained. I am just feeling completely done with the week. And you know what? The sad thing is I was feeling like this already yesterday, and yesterday was just Monday. like, I don't know, child. Like, I had like a bunch of crap due and kind of sleepy. You know, I had a headache earlier. My toe is but oh my goodness, let me tell you something. Okay, so if y'all remember me talking about an injury that happened to my toe, my injured toe, in way several videos back, right? I'm talking when I was still at Barry. And hold the phone. So, for those of y'all that did not watch the video, or are new viewers, or just didn't have the time, or maybe didn't hear about the video, or whatever, after I went to the, I think it's called Zoo Miami, or Miami Zoo, whichever one, I think it was maybe called Zoo Miami, because I was like, that's weird, why wouldn't they just call it the Miami Zoo? Is it called Zoo Miami? No. Zoo Miami, yes. I was always confused as to why they didn't call it the Miami Zoo. Maybe it's because, I don't know. They, let me see. Nope, it's called Zoo Miami. I was like, maybe it's because Miami Zoo was already taken. Nope. It's Zoo Miami. And so I had went. It was it? I don't know what the actual organization or club was called, but that's what that was the club / organization that was funding this free trip. And so I had signed up for whatever. So I went to the zoo. And there's like a zoo video or like a tour that I did when I first went, so obviously go back and check that out. If I can figure it out, I might include that in the description so you guys can just go straight to that video. But and again, I wasn't wearing uncomfortable. No, I was wearing good shoes, comfortable shoes, great walking shoes, so everything was good, right? We was walking for hours and hours, which is like good. Like, I love the zoo. Okay, first of all, the Omaha Zoo is still the best zoo I have ever been to. Again, hashtag not sponsored, but I love the Omaha Zoo. Hopefully, sometime soon I'll be able to like get to go back to it, and then I can even do like a Omaha Zoo tour. But what are you eating? Ryan, what are you eating, child? What is that? Oh, I'll allow it. And so anyway, it was the next day where I was feeling sore, feet was hurt. I was like, just that day already, I was like over it. I think was it Thursday that I went? Or it's like a Saturday? Was it the weekend thing? I don't know. Maybe it was a weekend thing. I don't know. Regardless. The next day I was not feeling amazing. And so I, because again, obviously, the sun, it was hot. So like, kind of draggy the next day. Probably a little sore from walking. So, okay, minus that. And so I was like, okay, it's probably nothing. Just probably my feet or whatever. Just a little sore from like walking a long time. And so I was like, okay, whatever. Then a few days pass. And so everything else is pretty much healed. Okay, it's like I never even like walked or whatever, went to the zoo. But my toe, however, was hurting. It was hurting too much. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, it hurts to literally stand, let alone walk and actually put on shoes. So I was like, first of all, I'm not really a shoes person. If I could wear sandals in a t-shirt and shorts or a nice top and some shorts, I am like, yes, that is the kind of seasons that I want. Okay? Now, Florida is just a whole another like ball game on stuff, to be honest with you. It's like its own little, like, That's another thing for another video. But anyway, I was like, but I think because I have like nail polish, like I keep my toenails polished and put together and amazing. My nails obviously amazing. So when I went to, it was time for me to like take the polish off and like, you know, repaint my toes or whatever. So when I took it off, that is when I seen like literally a bruise, like, or like whatever, like you could see it on the actual toenail, like it was underneath the toenail. I was like, oh my god, so my toe hurts. It was like red, purple, like all those things, like it was bad. And then it was like, I don't know, it's like my toenail was like lifting a little bit. I was like, oh my goodness, like you could see blood and whatever kind of like liquid or whatever the heck was coming out from underneath that toenail to like it eventually started like coming out. And I was like, oh my goodness, like I was like, Mom, I done effed up my toe really bad, like this is bad. Like you know, parents or whatever, especially moms, like, well, what did you do? What was you doing that you weren't supposed to be doing? I was like, I walked. Like, what are you talking about? What was I doing? You approved of me going to the, like, what are you, like, what? And so, then she's like, do this. And so it took an extremely long time for my toe to be healed, because I then, like, it also took months for my toe to be healed, because even when I came home for the summer, and I think it literally happened in the fall, when I went to the Zoo Miami. I'm pretty sure it did. I don't know. I'd have to double check. But literally, like I said, when I came back in the summertime, my toe still was not healed. And maybe in July, early August is when my toe officially healed. That's good. Recently, this thing over here needed to go outside. She was saying like, I need to go outside, like I'm about to die, like this is like too much. I dropped in the midst of me hurrying up trying to take her out, because I don't know if it still happens, but normally like I'm pretty good about like just like taking her out right when she like lets me know. But sometimes you can't always, you know, bow down to your pets, if you will. Like sometimes I'm like, I can't do it right now. Like I have to do this really important thing really quick, really fast. Excuse me. I haven't tested it out yet, but like her patience level, especially since I was still kind of potty training her, was still like extremely, like she was extremely impatient. And so then she would just like go to the bathroom on the floor. So I was like, no. So like as I'm trying to rush to get her outside, the chain drops on my one toe, the same one that was injured just a few months. Get down, child, get down. The same one that had been injured in the past. And when I tell you, I felt every link of that chain as it dropped. Like it wasn't even a thing of like, oh, you could just move your foot. No, that obviously is extremely heavy, but like when I felt every single chain link fall onto my big toe. And it hurt, whatever, you know, it's like when you like stub your toe, like hit your toe against something or stub or whatever. It hurts you a little bit, you feel like you're dying, but then you're good, right? So I took her out, like I was like, wait a minute. And she was like, girl, like hurry up. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why you're bent down and keeled over. Okay, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, so I was like, let me just walk off, because I also don't want to pick up a bunch of poo and pee. So let me just hurry up. So I walk it off, everything's good, she pees or whatever. It took about a minute or two, like 2 to 3 minutes for my toe to be like, okay, we're good now. And I thought it was completely fine. I thought it was just like stepping on a Lego kind of thing. I thought it was just me like hitting my toe against something kind of thing. And so everything is good. First night, I'm fine, go to sleep, no issues. Second night, it's fine, no issues. It's like nothing even happened. Third night, in the middle of the night at like 2 o'clock. Okay, it started extreme bad pain at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, oh my goodness, like what? Like I am like in so much pain. Like I'm like, I felt some pain, right? And I could like tolerate a lot, but for some reason it literally, when I tell you, it felt like I got stabbed in the foot. Again, I don't know what's supposed to be stabbed, you know what I'm saying? So I could be completely over exaggerating, but it felt like something was happening on the toe that was not supposed to be happening on the toe. And so then, after that happened, the reason why it wasn't until like 2 o'clock or whatever that I went to bed or fell asleep. Well, first of all, I didn't really go to bed and like get everything situated until like 12:30, 12:45 because I was still doing homework and a bunch of crap. But I officially laid down at 1, but I didn't fall asleep until 2 because I was in so much pain. Like it was like crazy. Like I could not, I could not get into a comfortable position or fall asleep because of how much pain. Hold the phone, or in this case, hold the tea. Here. But yeah, it was just like, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is ridiculous. And I have to pee. But it was bad. I don't even know what, did I have a short day? I think it was on a Sunday when I really felt it. No, I think it was me tossing and turning on a Thursday, wherever it was just really bad. And so literally that Friday, I was extremely exhausted. I hadn't gotten any sleep. Well, that's a lot. I got obviously a few hours of sleep, but like to get up at 7:50 a.m. to go to my 9 a.m. class off of a few hours of sleep was just not it. And trying to also listen and pay attention and all those things, no, it wasn't working. I was just like, oh my goodness. Of course I still will, whatever, but when I tell you that 10 to 13 minute walk to that class was bad. Like I was like, I kept moving, and then like sitting in class trying to pay attention to the lecture. It was just, girl, can you please stop playing stuff underneath the couch? Like, I don't know what your deal is, lady. There was just a lot. And so I think I called but I think I texted my mom on Saturday. So I was like, maybe I could still, like, you know, I could ice it, or you know, something that, you know, my mom would already tell me to do. So like I iced it, elevated, all that good stuff, or whatever. I told my sister right away, and she said, bruh, you've had so many things happen to that toe, it's like ridiculous. And then she said, oh, so it was your fault? I said, no, it was not my fault. It was this Virgo's fault over here of what happened to my toe. I mean, I want to sue her, and I would sue her, but seeing as how I don't have the money to pay for legal representation, and, you know, I can't use my parents' money for legal representation, seeing as how, you know, I'm the reason, you know, they spend all their money on me to, you know, further my education, and, you know, pay bills and stuff like that. So, and because of my very many medical problems already, but that came before the toe and is still occurring after the toe. Hold up, hold the mug, hold the tea. So, yeah, can't sue her. unfortunately, otherwise I would. I'd be like, hey, hello, workman's comp. Okay, she is literally the only reason why I had a chain fall on my toe. She's literally the only reason why. I am clearly not at fault here. It's her fault. And to this day, I feel like I still have grounds for suing her. So, there's that. So, my toe has literally been hurting non-stop for like the past 3-4 weeks. It was just this past, was it Sunday? Yes, this past Sunday, where like I was able to, like, this is gonna be kind of gross, but whatever. I squeezed like the pus out of my toe. It was like painful. It hurt a lot. And then my sister also like offered to help me out a little bit. I was like, oh my god, I'm dying. And my mom, no, my dad, but my mom was like, I am not touching that toe. I said, why, Mom? This is your job, hello? Like, this is why I'm a good child, okay? This is, this is my payment, okay? I'm a good, well-behaved child. I don't do any of that bad stuff, okay? But this is why you're here. And she said, now, Kyra, you are a soldier when it comes to, your shoulder, your arthritis of your jaw. I have another medical condition that involves my throat or whatever, but like she said, you have an extremely high pain tolerance for everything else, migraines, all that good stuff. But when it comes to other things like your toe or your finger or whatever, you are a big baby, and I am not going to deal with that. That is no. Your sister, your father could deal with it, but let me tell you something, I am not going to do that. You are a baby, a big old baby when it comes to stuff like that. I said, okay, I'll agree to that for now, but I'll agree with that. I hear what you're saying. It makes sense, okay? I know what I am, okay? So, yeah, I'm clearly still dealing with the injured toe. This toe is like probably like ready to be like, I'm done. I can't fight no more. Like, this is too much. Like, I have literally fought more in this last year and a half or whatever than I have had to do in your entire 21 years of living. Like, I'm not here for it. And honestly, I'm not here for this either. Like, this is like some serious pain. Like, I'm like, my sister trying to give me some ibuprofen. Like, girl, no. Do you, like, this kind of pain is beyond ibuprofen level right now. She said, you could take nothing, and I could offer you nothing. And I'd be like, first of all, I don't like the way you're talking to me. Okay, I was simply just saying that you don't really understand the pain that I'm in right now. Okay, we both can't be like going crazy. Like, come on now, like, work with me. She said, you work with you. So it was just, toe drama, it's fine. I just like sadly be in pain to people and strangers, But to my family, no. They will know every single day and every single night that my toe is hurting, that they literally have done absolutely nothing. Like, what are you doing, child? So, yes, so there's that. And I'm going to stop the rant, the storytime, tea time, rant time Tuesday, maybe Thursday for this video. If you guys liked it, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you get notified every single time I post anything on YouTube. Remember, I take suggestions or whatever. I'm just doing, even though, like, I will take suggestions, even if it's not related to, like, the Triple T Time Story Time Rant Time Tuesdays and maybe Thursdays. I'll take suggestions on anything, whether it's like a new type of video content or whatever or what have you. I actually do take you guys' suggestions very seriously, your comments very seriously. I try to respond to you guys' comments and all that good stuff. So, I hope you guys like this video. I will see you guys next time. We'll see how soon next time is. It might be possibly maybe this Thursday. Like I said, I have a lot of due dates like creeping up on me and things like that, so I don't know for sure. Let's see. Next Tuesday, I could probably most likely guarantee I will definitely see you on next Tuesday. But until then,